This, as our new poll shows, the president's approval among black voters is down 17 points since the first year of his presidency.
Two of the great artists of our time representing the groundbreaking legacy of hip-hop in America, LL Cool J. By the way, that man's got biceps bigger than my thighs. I think he's been...
A recent poll by NBC News showed that President Biden is losing support in the black community. I'm not surprised by that. Look at all the things that have occurred at the hands of President Biden, with the high inflation, with the migrants invading at the southern border, things that people don't want to talk about. What's going on in these cities such as Chicago and New York, where these migrants are being bussed and they're taking resources and opportunities away from primarily black people.
Many calling on the city's leaders to focus on the needs of taxpayers.
We are the residents of this community, and we demand that they do not put these people here. They're not even following the rules in the police station. What makes us think that they're going to follow the rules here?
So it's no surprise that his support is waning in the black community, especially when you have things such as this.
And two of the great artists of our time representing the groundbreaking legacy of hip-hop in America, LL Cool J. By the way, that man's got biceps bigger than my thighs. I think he's been...
So if you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, and you ain't black.
But you know, one of the things that will happen is that, and this is a prediction that I want you to be keenly aware of, everybody, there's going to be a time that Biden and the Democrats are going to use to push this white supremacy narrative, because that's the only way they know they can keep the black vote. They're trying their best to scare black people into continuing to vote for them.
They don't want to live up to that deal, and everyone in America could be faced with paying a price for that. They're changing it. We made a deal, we shook hands, we said this is what we're going to do, and now they're reneging on the deal, which is not much of a surprise these days. And the black community in particular is going to suffer if that occurs. For example, shut down.
But that tactic is no longer working, especially with the younger voters who want someone to earn their vote and not just give them platitudes and fear them and scare them into voting without really following up and enacting the policies and the promises that they've made to the community over and over and over again.
But only talk to black people about voting. And that's what you're doing up in here today. Pandering for votes to all of these students up in here. You're sitting on your hands, literally, and then you're going to be disrespectful and walk off the stage. But you won our vote. Sir, we've been voting for 60 years, and we haven't gotten...
As that lady said, 60 years people have been waiting. 60 years they've been voting this same way, and nothing has changed. And so people in the black community especially, but people by and large in America are starting to wake up to the fallacies of Joe Biden and his presidency. But again, they will use white supremacy because that's the boogeyman that the media and that the black bougie elite and that the elites on the coast in the media want to use to ensure that black people stay in their place and to ensure black people continue to vote democratically, because they know if they lose 10% of the black vote, they're done. If they lose 5%, it's going to be razor thin. And so you'll see, for example, he has this new committee or envoy or something he has going towards African nations, and he's put Viola Davis over it. You're going to start to see more and more tactics like that, especially geared towards black women. I think Joe Biden understands that ship has sailed primarily with black men, black independent thinking men. Now, black men who just want to stay with black women just to be with them, who really don't think about issues, who really don't think for themselves, who are beta males, yeah, they'll go along with their women. But black men that are tired and fed up of being treated as second-class citizens, of being treated as victims, they're going to wake up and say, no, show us what you're going to really do for our community. Show us what policies and plans you have in place to edify and uplift the community. Otherwise, you're not getting our vote. Because what Biden and the Democrats want to do is to paint black people as perpetual victims. But you have these videos that show otherwise, when the main issue in the black community is not white supremacy. The main issue in the black community is the lack of homes with fathers in them, because the covering is gone. The covering, the biblical covering that the father provides to the family, to the household, to the community is gone. And so therefore you have all kind of lawlessness taking root, taking hold in the community. But instead of speaking about that, you're going to have Biden and the Democrats talk about white supremacy, because they know there's a talking point that has usually sold for them and worked well for them in the past. But I don't think it will now, because people are tired of being painted as victims. And as I always say on this channel, we are not victims. We are empowered for greatness.